For the last word, I'll read a couple of comments that we got on the show from over the weekend, and then one other thing that I think is just interesting that every time we post about it, it gets an interesting reaction. So Mary says, great night, had a blast.
For the Friday show at the Woodlands, right?
For the Friday show at the Woodlands. This guy, Thomas, says, hands down, amazing performance. We posted a picture of Dan, who was our MC, Dan Hopple. And
how did he do?
As MC? Oh, he was amazing. He was so funny. Good. He was great.
I love him.
And this guy, Joe, says the guy was funny as fuck, and fuck was in all caps, so he must have been real fucking funny. Let's see. Jason says, I'm glad it was a success. We had, posted a picture of the full room, and which these are all paying guests, by the way. Like, people actually paid to see these performers. Which
oh my God, they gave you money and said thank you?
I know. It's amazing, isn't it? Yeah, I know a lot of local venues don't
get
that.
It's like a bathhouse.
They don't understand that concept about like paying artists, but it can be done. And then one woman said, with John Walton performing, how could it not be a success? He's hilarious. I'm sure the rest were great too. Couldn't make it, but I've seen John's routines before. And John Walton in particular did kill it. Like he was hysterical. Let's see. Mark says, congrats.
This is me.
No, not you. Some other guy named Mark. You deserve the success. You've certainly worked hard enough. So we appreciate all the feedback that we got there, and thank everybody for coming.
Shut up.
Oh, geez. I opened myself up for that.
Oh, no.
Shut up.
No, now I'm just doing it on purpose.
Oh, God, stop talking.
Jesus Christ.
Good stuff, cheap.
Okay, so Ben from Breaking Ben is doing some shows this weekend or next weekend during Parade Day. He's doing one on Saturday, so I guess that and it's at the Hilton right up the street from you guys. So. And then the Woodlands on
Is he
Saturday.
playing solo or is he playing?
He's playing solo.
Okay.
He's doing an acoustic show.
Cool.
So he's doing their Friday or their Saturday, Woodlands Sunday, and Friday I think he's actually in Philly. So he's doing 3, 2 local and 1 semi-local show. And every time we post about Breaking Benjamin, I always think it's really funny, like the complete opposite end reactions we get. Either we get, oh, fuck, I can't wait to see them again. They're so great, blah, blah, blah. Or like, fuck those guys. Fucking, they're terrible and blah, blah, blah. Like just freaking out. And it's so funny. Like,
I like how negative comments on your site, you read like a script.
Yeah.
And like your character is always like the incensed one.
Right.
It's just like, it's never like, fuck those guys.
No.
It's always like,
never.
fuck those guys.
Well,
I just think it's fun. I love you, Rich. I'm just saying.
That? Am I allowed to tell you why?
You're allowed to tell me whatever you want. Sir.
On
that. You
I
say whatever you
a
wish.
lot of it has to do with the lineup change. I know that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. But
I feel like in America in general, there's this like weird attitude of like we root for the underdog just till they get good enough so we can be like, fuck them, you fuck. Like
Tiger Woods.
Like Breaking Ben came out of the Wilkes-Barre area and made
against
a success.
all odds.
Yeah, made a success out of themselves, and now people hate them all. Like it's like Tom Brady when Tom Brady first went in and like Bledsoe got hurt and like this guy's 6th round pick, he's got no chance. Now everyone's like, fuck him, married to Giselle, 5 Super Bowls, fuck that motherfucker.
I bet he doesn't shop at Ollie's.
I bet he does.
That's what we do. We love to root for the underdog, and then as soon as they get success, we're just like, because it makes us feel superior.
As soon as they become the overcat.
Yep.
Well,
I don't even know what that means, but it makes sense.
I like that.
Overcat.
Overcat.
And when unless we're doing like a strict review or anything like that, if we're doing just a post about
you're just like, hey, he's playing there.
Yeah, that's it. We're not trying to say they're good or they're bad or whatever. I think the opening line that I put in this post, which was just a quick list of where they're playing and everything, I said something to the effect of that since they've come back, they've made sure to kind of take care of their local fans because they played a bunch of local shows and then went out. Like their first couple shows back were in the area, then they went out, and then they did one in Stroudsburg while they were on tour doing other shows and stuff. So they made sure, that their local fans who have been waiting a long time for them to come back off of hiatus, that they're there. And so, of course, the first guy immediately says, "Yeah, baby, taking care of those fans." And then another.
What does that mean?
I'm just
gonna yell something you said in the article.
Right? Yeah, I'm just gonna write.
Everybody on the message board has now turned into Steve Carell from Anchorman.
Yeah.
No noises.
And then one guy says "ha ha," and then another guy says "bah ha 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 ha," and then his space "ha ha 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 ha." So he really thought that was funny.
He needed a tight breath.
Yes. and then right in the middle of that, someone goes, "Oh my God, I want to go." So it's like you can't predict. And then another person, sarcastically, I'm sure, says, "Who?" Like, "Oh yeah, I don't know who they are," like losers. And then another guy right after him, "Yes," with lots of S's, super excited, obviously wants to go. And every single time we post about them.
Is it more when you post about people who have had success out of the area? See, like that's the interesting dichotomy of the whole thing of like what you try to do. Mm-hmm. So like you try to give a shine a little bit of a spotlight on people who don't get any press, who deserve it. Yeah, right. Exactly. Like on people who like deserve to get some of it, and then somebody who already has like the spotlight on them from local. You're just like, you're not fawning over them. You're not, kissing their ass or anything. You're just like, hey, whatever. Which is, the purpose. Like the thing that scares me, and this is, or maybe not with you guys. You guys would probably find it funny as hell. Is that like, in this weird, strange universe that we live in, if NEPA Scene did like this thing about you, and then somebody in like New York saw it, and they're like, "Oh my God, we got to get these guys," and then you like have like all this amazing success, and he posts something where it's like, "Hey, oh my God, like good for these guys." They're like, "Fuck them."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Much. It's gonna go like, is that where it's gonna go?
If I don't do it within a 12-mile radius, I am uninterested.
Well, it's funny too because a lot of these guys, like at least even though I think for a number of years they would play to packed clubs and empty clubs, like it was either way.
I saw Breaking Ben when Breaking Ben first started, and if there was 7 people in there, there was 0.
Right, but then when they get success out of the area, then it validates them, and we've talked about this a bunch of times on the podcast. Like I like like the Menzingers is a great example where I went to a lot of their shows and there wasn't that many people there. Right. And now every time they come back they sell out.
Yeah, but the other there's 2 types of people that in my purview that I've seen this in is like a band like the Menzingers or whatever. Like they leave, when they come back, the most common thing is absolutely I'm going.
Yeah.
And the other one is who?
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? So it's not like, I've had conversations with people. I'm like, you don't even know like the bands that have made it out of here and are doing shit.
Right. Well,
and they're a great example of it where they're out like they just went on a
they're on
tour.
A major label. Ooh. They've toured the world how many times now at this point, and
they're
still,
from West Side.
Yep, average person is like, who? What do they do? Like it's amazing to me.
But Breaking Ben because they were on a U.S. Army commercial.
It's like all the hate Bill O'Reilly gets, and he started here. I don't understand all the hatred. He's such a level-headed gentleman.
He makes such sense.
Such sense.
Yeah.
And I
was watching that show yesterday with my guns, and we all loved it. All of us.
And he has such a right to criticize other journalists for being such an upstanding journalist himself.
Right.
How about that shit? Like, how is he not like, where's the outrage? Where's the moral outrage at what that guy did? Like, what did Brian Williams say? He's like, hey, I was in a helicopter that got shot at. Bill O'Reilly actually reported that people were getting massacred.
You're talking about people who, his audience already have a fixed opinion about everything.
Yeah, but
so they listen and they just want it validated. So they're never going. There's at no point where they could expose that Bill
Perception
O'Reilly
virus.
has, bodies in the basement and he's been murdering children for years, and they go, "No, I'm just not going to believe that."
I don't understand it because every other news outlet went after Brian Williams.
Yeah, but
why aren't they going after Bill
when
O'Reilly?
you're as handsome as Bill O'Reilly, you could get away with pretty much anything.
That's true.
So, I mean,
if I was in San Francisco and he was
charming
there,
too.
Did someone ever say something or do something in your life where every time you see that person afterwards, it's all you think about is that one time? Like every time I see Bill O'Reilly, all I can picture him doing is going, "Fuck it, do it live." That's all I can picture him doing in my head. Like he
Rightfully so.
Like he was gonna rape an intern with a loofah at one point. Remember that whole thing?
Yeah, I remember.
No,
that.
I don't remember that.
Oh yeah, he left her messages and he kept calling it like a waffle, or he called it something, or a falafel.
Falafel.
I'm gonna put this falafel up, and she's like, "What the?" He meant a loofah.
That's how.
So you
smart
offended the
he is.
intern and the Jews all at once.
I just don't understand how this guy doesn't I don't get it. That's the thing that boggles my mind. Like, have we
Because
become?
he's in news entertainment.
Yeah, I think.
Not
I mean, is
journalism.
that the difference? Is that we look at somebody like Brian Williams and NBC as kind of like more,
Well, he was doing the nightly news,
Yeah.
right? Where it's just like just commentating on the news, just saying this happened here and this happened here. Whereas Bill O'Reilly is like opinion based and
Yeah, I think you kind of expect him to say crazy shit. So
Right.
when he says crazy shit, it's just like, oh well,
Right.
But like Brian Williams, you kind of I mean, someone like he's doing the nightly news, you expect him to be more objective, I think, and I think that's probably why.
I mean,
people
he
are
was,
more
but he
outraged.
was just trying to put. It was like the same thing. Remember when Dan Rather got like just fucking booted from CBS?
Right.
He reported on a story about that and if I'm remembering this correctly, is that the document that he produced was false.
Mm-hmm.
The information was true. But
Yeah.
the information about it being true didn't come out for like 3 more weeks after the whole country was like, fuck, damn, even though he's been reporting in war zones for 40 years and never once has given anyone an option, like, to be like, hey, I'm lying. But these guys, like, it's scary that we've come to a point now where, like, news isn't news. It's just like, it's this bullshit.
It's
That's what we're doing right
infotainment.
now.
Yeah.
no, Bill O'Reilly.
Just so you know.
I feel like Brian Williams is like the NFL, and Bill O'Reilly's like the WWE. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that could be a great
it's
reason on why.
sensationalized sports entertainment as opposed to
who's
like
the XFL in that analogy?
legitimate- Sean Hannity.
Megyn Kelly. Wait, what was it? The XFL Canada?
No, the
No,
XFL. It was
Vince
it was Vince
McMahon.
McMahon's league. It was.
Oh my God, that was.
It was
Yeah, I
terrible.
know you've tried to
Like
erase it from your
7
memory, but
I'm not a sports guy, but I remember that. Like,
was
wow, that was
terrible.
pretty brazen.
Yeah.
just to start your own.
Yeah, the guys had their names on their jerseys. They could put whatever they want there. The one guy was He Hate Me.
Yeah.
That was his name. he was like one of the stars, I think, of the league. He was good.
The stars of the league, but not of the Grammar Bowl. Which ironically is what they played for the championship. The Grammar.
But yeah, they tweaked the rules a little bit too. Something like if you punted, you
Yeah.
had to recover it. Like you couldn't just down it. You had to.
Instead of the kickoff,
forget.
remember, instead of the kickoff, they just had the guys run to
Yeah.
the 50 to get the ball.
Yeah.
Like grade school dodgeball.
Is that
Nothing
what
could
it
happen
was?
with 7 300-pound men rushing at one single ball on a. Oh my god!
All of them running, going, I wish I studied more. I wish I studied
I
more.
wish I made more than $200 a game.
Is that what he paid him?
It was something. They could only make so much. There was like a limit. It was almost like arena football. When arena football was here, Arena 2,
Yeah.
$250 is what they got a game, and if they won, they'd get $50 bonus. Like everybody, just straight contracts.
I think that should be like the NFL. You know what I mean?
No,
$250. That's a lot to play a game.
The NFL
Right, but
is
also-
like
also
And there's
in the
bands
NFL,
around here bitching like we didn't make 250.
the NFL is like a ridiculously socialist system, though.
I'm sorry.
Here we go.
That all the different teams get the exact same amount of money across the board.
that they have to spend.
For marketing, for the contracts, for everything.
Oh, Bill Maher did a thing on that.
Did he?
Yeah, where he talked about how it's funny that we're
John
all
Oliver did,
antisocial, or we're all anti-communism, and we're so pro-American, and yet the big American sport promotes socialism in the way that it's built. Yeah, no, Bill Maher did a thing.
Was it
on
Bill Maher?
Yeah.
Yeah.
John Oliver might have done something on it too.
No,
but,
John Oliver did a thing on FIFA. That's what it was. I'm an idiot.
But yeah, no, I've read that.
The
It's
what?
interesting how they
Did something on
split
the tobacco
everything
industry too,
equally.
which is funny.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
what, 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago with the Jeff the diseased lung.
Yeah, I didn't see. I saw that one. I'm a smoker, so I kind of like try to avoid. Like, I'm the guy who's like, don't tell me how the cheeseburger is made. But then, like, I have
Don't
to
tell me how
watch
the
it.
Salisbury steaks made.
I won't. My love for John Oliver superseded my love for smoking, so I watched that while smoking.
Mark, did you know that when you autopsy the lungs of a smoker, you can smell the cigarettes?
God, I hope so. Otherwise, I've been doing it wrong the whole time. That's the only way I knew how to come back to that
And do
one.
you,
The
and do you know?
NFL's not
And
a
do you
pure
know that
socialist.
cigarettes are delicious?
The NFL's not purely socialist, by the way.
Not purely.
Purely. No.
Well, first of all, there's a union involved, which
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah, because they've
That has
done
nothing
really
to
good
do with-
things.
I wish I was in the players union. That players union is unbelievably strong.
You can literally get away with almost anything.
Yeah.
Almost. The only one. Who's the guy on trial now for murder? Well, which one? But no, the guy.
Oh,
the
Aaron
guy
Hernandez.
narrow it down.
wasn't that the guy who like took him back like an industrial park and then.
Yeah.
Did
Did he murder 2 people?
Yeah,
Am I
yeah,
remembering
yeah.
that wrong? Yeah.
So the only reason
Allegedly.
the only reason he's on trial right now is because they saw him drive in with the victim and then they saw him drive out without the victim. I don't think if there was a camera,
right.
that he'd be in deep shit.
I would love to know what goes through your head as like you're like
A multi-million-dollar,
24,
yeah.
I have a multi-million-dollar contract. I have my life ahead of me. I have probably any woman I want.
It's probably a lot of steroids.
They don't go in your head, John. They go in your butt.
In your nether region. But isn't that one of those things where it's like, holy shit, you're making
just
millions of
weird.
dollars and you're like, I'm going to go whack a guy in a
I just think
shut up.
I just think it's like I don't know. I think it's weird. It's like a weird mentality of like you can't shake certain things from your youth. I think.
Murder?
Well, gang affiliations. I think it's hard for guys to get rid.
I think the moment
Unless
you're
you're
making
Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, but I think the moment you're making millions of dollars to catch a bunch of pig leather, you can say goodbye to the gang life.
I would.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I
little
don't
more
even
stable.
make that much, and I told
Jay-
my gang goodbye. long
Jay
clerk
Z
he
still ain't
assaulted
slinging crack on the corners.
forgave
You
him.
know what I mean?
that you know of.
Well, he probably has people doing it
Well, in
for
Mark
him. but-
Wahlberg's case, you open a chain of semi-successful burger restaurants.
Oh, right. Yes. And that just makes everything better.
The clerk that he assaulted actually forgave him
right.
recently.
That's why. How do you think the Five Guys
Oh,
got
that
their
totally
money?
makes it okay then.
He didn't know
Same
who he
way
was.
Mark Wahlberg did.
Yeah, on the backs of unfortunate people.
The
That's
funny
what
thing is,
happened.
I think one of the Five Guys, if I'm not mistaken, was a football player. I think he was-
Seriously?
yeah, I think he was the kicker for the Redskins. Mark Mosley, I think, is one of the Five Guys.
God, you know.
No, he kicked the ball with his toes, not with the soccer style. So he was a football player. If you kick the ball with your toes and it's negative temperatures, you're a football player, in my estimation.
Yeah, there's not a lot of football, or not a lot of
Not a lot
soccer in
straight.
Canada.
Oh no,
Nah. South America, sure. Canada, not so much.
no. Canadians like weird sports like curling and lacrosse.
Dude, every 4 years, I hate the Olympics. Like I don't fucking care, but I'll watch curling for hours. It's like everybody's got a shake weight.
It's like 4 hours of
That's what it looked, dude,
JOI.
doesn't? Watch when that person just like gingerly just lets that go. And those two guys just desperately with the fucking mops or whatever they're using. It's amazing.
I know a good way to practice for that.
Yeah. From 2 hours ago, I learned. But watch that. Put it on mute. Do your own commentary. It's amazing. It's wonderful.
I think most of the commentary will be like, I don't know what the hell is going on here, but
There's your next improv skit right there.
So curling.
is curling somehow better than shuffleboard?
Absolutely.
Somehow, yeah. I would watch shuffleboard. I watch weird sports.
I would watch
Remember when
that too.
ESPN was all weird sports? Am I just old?
Yeah,
I
but then
remember when they had like ping pong on,
Right.
and like
and now they're up to the Ocho.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but you can't get the channels
It's awful.
because you didn't pay for the package. Comcast, fucking Obama.
You gotta get the log splitting.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
I would watch that. You know, like those big Scottish guys who are like, I'm going to throw this tree.
They throw the logs.
Oh, yeah.
I would
the
totally.
strongman.
I would watch that
They
just to be
all
like, this
made
is
the same
crazy.
noise.
Or the guys, they also stand on the logs that are floating in the ponds.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's probably kind of incredible.
That's more incredible to me than somebody who can, hit a baseball. It's like, holy shit, this guy can stand on logs in a river.
It's amazing to me because I want to know what the guy does his other 360 days of the year
Yeah,
when he's not doing the 5-day.
Whatever.
What are you
it
doing
is,
today,
it's very
Johnny?
manly.
What'd you say?
Training.
Right. Well, it was raining out. I couldn't stand on the logs on the river.
There's a drought.
You know he's got an artificial river in his mansion.
yeah, his lumberjack game's money, but the mansion.
But that shit's I'd watch ping pong. That's
Ping
awesome.
pong is crazy. I can't believe that even.
I love to play it because I can.
They get the ball up to like over 100 miles an hour going. Ping pong's crazy. Like the people are real good at it. The ball's flying back and forth.
Right. What do you do in football? You just bumped
Just
into
make
a
that
guy.
noise?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just get up under the collar and just get them right down to the pads. I played football for like 10 years until I realized it was stupid.
The collision between the offensive line and the defensive line on every play produces enough force to lift a ton block of concrete 1 inch off the floor every time.
Really?
Yeah,
But that's the extent of it.
that's crazy.
But that took like 10 guys to lift.
We should
Nine.
One
these
block,
guys to be lifting these blocks
That's what I'm saying.
instead of beating each other.
That should be their coin toss. Take this 1-ton block. Whoever can lift it the highest gets to choose kick
I
or
pick
receive.
things up, I put them down.
I pick things up and put them down.
Thank
Everybody's
you.
like the mountain from Game of Thrones.
Thank you so much
Thank you.
for coming this week and joining us on our podcast.
Okay, just one more time recap. The 14th.
March
no,
11th.
the 11th?
March 11th at Posh, 5 to 7.
14th is
March
parade
14th,
day.
Parade Day at 8 p.m. at the AFA Gallery. And March 28th at the Old Brick, also at 8 p.m. If you need any details, Here We Are in Spain at Outlook.com. We have a Facebook, Here We Are in Spain. Yeah, you could come to the show and we'll give you a business card for free.
Wow.
If you want.
I like how you two in the back look at each other like, we have fucking business cards?
Yeah, they don't know.
I never got one.
Holy shit.
And we're available for children's birthday parties.
Yeah.
We're available for everything.
I want to see what Southside Bowl just ruining, like just 6-year-olds crying.
What's a period? Oh my God.
It's the end of a sentence. Go home.
You'll find out in about 5 years.
It's what you cost me 9 months of. That's a weird thing to say.
All right, we
But
good?
yeah.
Yeah, we're good. So thank you very much. Oh, and thank you to Keith Perks and Ted Mikulasky for designing our T-shirts, which I'm
We'll
wearing
post a
one.
photo. Yeah.
And Lauren has hers. We just got those made. Futuristic, innovative graphics in Wilkes-Barre printed these. Keith Perks designed the layout, and Ted Mikulasky, who we had on one of our previous podcasts, drew the art that you see on there. So thank you to those guys for putting those together. We're going to have those for sale at different events that we have coming up, including the event that we're almost ready to announce on Tuesdays. They're $10.
We'll get
and
there.
The money obviously will go to support the site and keep everything going. So thank you very much to Here We Are in Spain for entertaining us. And I think we really just need a list of all the facts that came out of this great. Like all the trivia that came out of
I don't know
this
if any of it was
podcast.
true.
It doesn't matter. It's the internet. You can just post whatever you want. That's the beauty of it. So thanks, guys, and we'll see you again next week.
Thank you so much. See you guys.